there, and I'm going to be talking about what I'm going to call Minnesota Nightmare. And the reason I call it that is it's a road trip to Minnesota for a specialist. We ended up taking as a whole family. Go up there, it's about a 6-hour ride. I have this was the 13.5-month migraine. So go up to Minnesota. 6.5 hours, six and a half, depending on how you get there. We get there, and I'm in quite a bit of pain because I don't do well in the car. All the bumps, all the rickety, all of it. I just don't do well. I don't go far. Anyway, so about 6 hours, whatever. We get there, and we go and get all hooked up and checked in, and we get an EEG put on. Me and my brother, we both have them on. And what an EEG is they connect a bunch of electrodes to your brain, to your head, a couple to the chest to get your heart rate and everything, and it's a monitor. And this one happened to be what they call a video EEG, which means the room, it has a camera up top and it can see you the whole time. And what it's looking for is seizures and spikes in the brain and stuff like that. So, the reason I have to bring up my brother is in the story, he plays a key part later on. So, we're there, I think it was the first day we were there. We were there 2 or 3 days, I can't remember exactly, because it just went nightmarish. It went tits up in the end. And so we're there, and the doctor comes in and he talks to us and he asks me questions, and then he goes to my brother's room and he does the same thing in there. And he tells me that he's going to have their pain specialist come in and talk to me about what they can do. And I was like, that's cool. And he also says we're going to have the natural herb person come in and talk to you about what they can do. And I was like, cool, whatever. I'm not about medications. I really would like to fix my problems naturally. I'm like, that's awesome. Cool. Later on, it's probably 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and we were watching SVU because that's what was on. And me and my one brother, my older brother, Nevada, who doesn't have the disease, he was in my room with me, and then my dad and mom were with my other brother who has seizures and stuff. He needs more. He wanted more people with him, so it was how it was split. So the lady comes in, the migraine pain lady. So my mom comes over from my brother's room and comes in, so we can all talk. Pain lady asks me how I feel, and like I'm chatting with her, and as I'm chatting, about 10-15 minutes in, my face starts to turn red. And my face starts to turn red because the longer I talk with someone, depending on what kind of conversation we're having, or if you're pissing me off, my face starts to turn red. And that started to happen about 10 minutes in because she's talking to me about my migraine and goes, you know, it's pain, it's mind over matter. It's mind over matter. You can just tell yourself that you don't have the migraine and it'll go away. And I laughed, and I was like, no, really, what are we going to do about this? And she goes, no, I'm being dead serious. I don't have anything really for you other than it's mind over matter. She says, truthfully, if your mind over matter was strong enough, you could have a knee surgery. None of this is made up. It's infuriating to me, but I do laugh in the end. You can have a knee surgery without any anesthesia if you have the willpower to, is what she told me. Now, behind her is the herb lady, the health lady. Health lady never entered the room. She stood at the door. And she is laughing her absolute ass off because she knew we didn't believe this lady at all on this. So my brother goes, all right, so basically what you're saying is you're not going to do anything. And she goes, no, we're going to come up with a plan of how you can, mentally overcome it. And he goes, so we drove 6.5 hours, and my brother's head is just killing him for really no reason. So do you have anything that would work for him to basically take a nap? And the reason I brought up the SVU earlier on is because it plays in here. We were watching an episode where someone used chloroform, and it put the person to sleep, of course, because that's what it's for, at least in that show. So he goes, do you have something like chloroform, a sleep med or something that would put my brother to sleep? On the way home, this lady lost it. She lost her absolute shit on my brother. Now I am dying of laughter because I couldn't believe this lady was so unhappy, and she said she was going to report my brother basically for just being my brother. And we had just watched a show, and even I had thought of that idea and question, but it was so wrong. So anyway, she leaves, the herb lady leaves. The doc comes in probably an hour or two later. Now this lady's not allowed back in my room at all. I told my mom right afterwards. I started to want to take the electrodes off my head. I said, it's time to go home. We're done here in Minnesota. I said, I'm not having it. I said, I don't give a shit what she has to say anymore. I'm going home. I don't want to talk to the doctor. And my mom convinced me to stay, and we just make it so this lady couldn't come in. So doctor comes in about 2 hours later and goes, what's up? I hear that the lady can't come in no more. What happened? And we explained to him everything that happened, and he goes, I've seen that episode of SVU. That's a good one. They catch the bad guy. Now we're all there going, okay, it's all fine and dandy with the doctor, but the pain lady's unhappy. So, yeah, the next day, we make it to the next day, and we're about to be discharged because they didn't find anything, and they couldn't do anything for us. And they did find something for my brother, but anyway, I'm in my brother's room. I've been discharged out of mine. I'm sitting on a chair with a hat on. This lady walks up to the room she's not supposed to be in anyway, comes in and starts to talk to my brother Nathaniel, who is 430 pounds. He's a 5'8", at the time, like 17-year-old male. I, at the time, am a 6 foot, 200-pound male in a corner, almost falling on the ground. My brother Nevada, who got in trouble the day before, he's in that same corner with me. We're both turned away from this lady, laughing our asses off because she started talking to my brother Nathaniel like he was me. And she went, so you know the plan. You got the plan. And my mom had to step in the way because I wasn't speaking up. I wanted nothing to do with this lady. So my mom goes, you know that's not the right kid. That is my other son. The one you want to talk to is in the corner over there laughing, basically. So I have to turn and I have to talk to the lady. And she's like, you got the plan and everything? And my mom goes, how did you mistaken his brother for him? And she goes, they look alike. And after the lady left the room, and the herb lady was laughing her ass off again at this lady, basically. The whole time, the herb lady didn't know. She didn't really say much other than sorry. Like, that's all she had. So, after the pain lady says, you know the plan, we're gonna, mind over matter, blah, 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 and I really wanted to tear into her, but we were about to leave, and I didn't want any hassles. So I shut my hole, and I bowed my hat, and the lady left. We get in the vehicle, and we're all laughing hysterically, because this lady mistook my 5'8", 430-pound brother. For me, who's 6 foot, 200 pounds at the time. And the reason I want to make that clear for people who know what that looks like, we don't look anything alike. We do in the face a little bit now, we always have, but weight-wise and size-wise, we were really different. So this lady must have been, and on some shit. Or she was just really high on mind over matter. But that is my Minnesota nightmare ride. Hope you enjoy.